All right, let's be real for a second. The way most of us do keyword research, sorting those giant spreadsheets by search volume and difficulty, it's broken. It's the reason why so much great content just never sees the light of day. Today, we're going to talk about the one crucial piece of the puzzle that changes the entire game. And here it is. This right here, this is probably the single most important idea in all of modern SEO. It's not about finding the right keywords anymore. It's about figuring out the goal behind those keywords. Once you really truly get this, everything about your strategy is going to shift. So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll unpack why the old way of doing things is so flawed. Then we'll get into the why Google is so obsessed with intent. After that, I'm going to give you a super practical cheat sheet on the 4 main types of intent, a brand new workflow you can use today, and then we'll look at the future and why AI search makes all of this completely non-negotiable. So, what is this big flaw I'm talking about? It's our collective obsession with the easy metrics, right? Search volume, keyword difficulty, while we completely ignore the most important question of all. What is the user actually trying to do? You can see the difference right here. The old way is basically a numbers game. You pull up a spreadsheet, sort by volume, and pick your targets. But the new way, the intent-driven way, that's more like being a detective. You have to figure out the user's motive before you even think about creating a single piece of content. So why is this such a big deal? Well, it's because Google isn't the same search engine it was 10 or even 5 years ago. It's not just a simple machine matching words. It's this incredibly sophisticated system that's trying to figure out what we as humans really want. And this is how Google knows you failed. It's a little thing called pogo sticking. Picture this. Someone searches, clicks on your result, takes one look, and hits the back button to click on your competitor's link instead. Ouch! You've just sent a massive red flag to Google that your page did not solve their problem. And if that happens enough, guess what happens to your rankings? Yep, they tank. And this isn't some small niche thing we're talking about. Just look at this number, 48%. That's almost half of all searches now triggering an AI overview. And those summaries, they are built from the ground up to satisfy a user's intent as directly and quickly as possible. This number is a giant, flashing neon sign, showing you exactly where Google's head is at. If your content doesn't match the intent, you're not even in the game. Okay, and if just getting more traffic isn't enough to convince you, let's talk about money. Getting intent right has a direct impact on your bottom line. I mean, look at this. Microsoft found that when a search journey nails the user's intent, especially with a little help from AI, it leads to a mind-blowing 76% higher conversion rate. We're talking about connecting with people who are ready to take action. That's real, measurable business growth. So let's boil this all down to the bottom line, because this is so important. If you get the intent wrong, it doesn't matter how great your SEO is otherwise. Google categorizes the purpose of a search. So if you create a product page for a keyword that Google has decided is informational, your page is basically out of the running before the race even starts. It's like you're showing up to a marathon wearing swimming trunks. You're not just going to lose, you're not even in the right competition. All right, so we've talked a lot about the problem. Let's get to the good stuff, the solution. And honestly, it gets way simpler when you break it down into 4 main categories. You can think of this next part as your new content creation cheat sheet. Okay, this slide right here, this is pure gold. Seriously, you might want to grab a screenshot of this one. It makes it so clear. You see words like how or what. That's informational intent, so you write a blog post. You see best or review. That's commercial. You build a comparison page. Buy or pricing. That's transactional. You send them to a product page. Just using this table can fix most of the intent mismatch problems out there. Okay, so you know the 4 types. Awesome. But how do you actually use this in your day-to-day? Let's walk through a simple 3-step process that you can literally start using the second this is over. Here it is. Step 1, and this is the most important one. Just Google your keyword. The search engine results page, the SERP, is Google telling you what it thinks is the right answer. Step 2, you can use your favorite SEO tools to classify intent in bulk, but always double-check your most important keywords by hand. And finally, step 3, connect all the dots. Map each of these intent types to a stage in your own marketing funnel. So when you're doing that first step, analyzing the search results, what are you actually looking for? Don't just look at the blue links. Look at the type of content. Are they blog posts, videos, product pages? Then look at the format. Are they listicles, how-to guides? And finally, check out the special features. Does it have a People Also Ask box, an AI overview? Google is literally handing you the answers on a silver platter. All you have to do is look.
Okay, let's wrap this up by looking ahead, because if you're still on the fence about all this, what I'm about to say should change your mind. With the rise of conversational AI in search, understanding intent goes from being a best practice to being an absolute survival skill.
Just think for a second about how you use something like ChatGPT or another AI chatbot. You don't just type in a keyword, you have a back and forth. The AI asks you questions to clarify what you want. What this means is that by the time a user clicks a link from an AI chat, their intent is super specific, super refined. Your page better deliver on that exact promise. So what does this actually mean for you? Well, here's how AI is changing the game. First, AI loves comprehensive content. It rewards pages that don't just answer the first question, but also anticipate the next one. Second, structured data, schema markup that helps search engines understand your content. It's not optional anymore. It's a huge signal to the AI about your page's purpose. And finally, you have to realize intent can change depending on the context. A search on Google might be to learn, but that same question in an AI chat might be to buy. This quote just nails it. Without understanding intent, what you have is just a list of words. It's data, sure, but it has no direction. The moment you add that layer of intent analysis, that list transforms into a roadmap. It becomes a strategy. So I want to leave you with one final question to chew on, something to think about with your own work. Is your content just answering the surface-level question that someone typed into a search bar, or is it digging deeper to answer the real question, the true intent that made them search in the first place? The difference between those two? Well, that's everything.